The man shot and broke a bottle of wine at the girl's home with one shot, but she wasn't angry at all. Instead, she took out another bottle and put it on her head, letting the man try his shooting skills again. But while the two were happily playing, a strange sound suddenly came from the bottom of the canyon. Looking through the binoculars, it turned out to be unidentified creatures climbing up. The man immediately realized something was wrong. He directly opened fire at them. However, the number of monsters was far more than expected. The woman on the other side of the canyon also picked up a machine gun, assisting the man in a crazy shootout, but they were too focused on dealing with the monsters on the man's side, and didn't expect monsters to appear on the girl's side as well, and they had already climbed to her feet. Helpless, the woman could only shoot. Soon the woman took down that monster. Although she took down one, there were countless others climbing up from below. The man quickly opened fire to help. Although many were successfully repelled, one falling monster triggered a bomb trap. After the fragments exploded, they accidentally injured the woman. Seeing the urgent situation, the man also picked up a machine gun and started shooting wildly. Fortunately, the monsters triggered the infrared traps while climbing. The fully automatic guns on both sides of the canyon were activated, helping the two finally eliminate these terrifying creatures. The two were obviously top agents, but were locked in this canyon and not allowed to contact the outside world, because their mission was to ensure that the monsters at the bottom of the canyon couldn't climb up, and they must hide the secret of the canyon until death. Every time the traps were used up, they needed to rappel themselves down to reset the bombs to prevent another monster attack. Although there was no signal around the canyon, the clever two used writing boards and binoculars to successfully start a conversation across 2 kilometers. They could not only play chess this way, but also assemble pots and pans to play music and dance together. Over time, the two developed feelings, but never being able to meet made Matt restless. On Valentine's Day, he made a crazy decision. He took out a long-sealed rocket launcher, removed the gunpowder inside, then took out a hook rope and modified it, successfully attached the hook rope to the rocket launcher. Then he aimed at the opposite side, calculated the falling distance due to inertia, and fired it accurately. After the rocket launcher landed, he retracted the rope. The rocket launcher was successfully stuck on a tree branch. Seeing this, Amy rushed to help. She quickly extinguished the rocket launcher's flame, then helped reinforce the rope. A simple high-altitude zipline was thus built. Matt hooked himself onto the rope and jumped toward the opposite side without hesitation. But to his surprise, the sliding distance wasn't enough to reach the other side. He had no choice but to use more strength, and moved toward the opposite side little by little with his arms. The man and woman who had communicated across the air for a year finally met. Seeing such a beauty, Matt was as happy as a 3-year-old child. The two spent a wonderful night together, and agreed to set aside 2 days a week for dating. When it was time to say goodbye, Matt took the ropeway back, but unexpectedly, just halfway through sliding, a monster on the opposite side triggered a bomb trap. The fragments directly cut the rope. Matt started to fall rapidly. Fortunately, he opened his parachute in time, so he wasn't killed immediately. Seeing this, Amy didn't hesitate. She picked up her gear and jumped straight into the terrifying mist. Although she managed to open her parachute, she was caught by trees when landing, and almost drowned in the river. Calm Amy cut her backpack with a knife, and floated along the rushing water, finally hugged a big tree, and barely saved her life. Meanwhile, Matt had completely passed out. He happened to fall onto a big tree, and was hanging in midair. A mutant caterpillar, smelling human flesh, seized the opportunity, and approached him step by step. At the moment of crisis, Matt suddenly woke up, and shot it down with 2 bullets. But just after cutting the parachute, Matt fell into a mud pit again, which was actually a giant mouth of a man eating flour. It sucked on Matt tightly, making him unable to move, just as he was about to be completely swallowed. Suddenly a few bullets flew over, piercing the man eating flour's teeth. It turned out Amy heard the gunshots here, and successfully found Matt's location. The two temporarily escaped danger. They decided to follow the river, and leave this terrifying canyon, but little did they know, their scent had already been detected by terrifying monsters.